back with another video review, and today we're looking at the Transformers Shatterglass Megatron. So, he did come in. I think it was like the day after I filmed Goldbug, I got an email that he shipped. And then the day after he shipped, he showed up because I apparently live 4 hours away from a Hasbro Pulse distribution center. It's pretty fun. Anyways, so before we look at him, of course, take a quick look at the box. So let's get this a bit more zoomed up here. You can kind of see me. Oh. Anyways, get a really nice photo of Megatron there doing something. It says Megatron. Got the nice fractured Decepticon symbol. Still want t-shirts. Get some nice artwork going on the side. It's very Transformers Legends, except just very simplified because there is like no detail on that arm. Same artwork on the side, on the top, shattered glass, all your warnings. Down the back you get some product shots, and you get a neat little bio, which this actually looks like it might be the shortest one of them all so far, which says, Megatron, the heroic leader of the Decepticons, stands against tyranny and fights to bring peace to all Cybertronians. Ain't that lovely? Isn't this such a swell guy? You just love him. Bring this back down. Did not realize how high I had the camera for that box. It isn't even that particularly big of a box. Just I had the camera so low. With this jet mode. Let me get it back. There we go. So anyways, here he is in his jet mode, and I know there's been a lot of talk. A lot of people are very iffy on this. Like some like me don't mind it, and they just think it's kind of fun. Other people are like, oh, this is the worst thing ever. But my main argument is, I don't think they could have done better if they used Galvatron. The Robo might have looked better, but then he would have just been a cannon for the alt mode, and that just wouldn't have looked good. And Shatterglass and Super Megatron is not on the table, so I think this is probably the best they could have done. I mean, it's still alright. I like how it's like sort of a prime nod with the basic shape of the jet. You got the cannon here and like the wings out in the back. Yeah, these wings are pretty nice. They're clear with a little bit of red paint. And then this is an entirely clear piece with paint. But it's not really stiff or anything, so like I don't fear this or this break. This is very durable clear plastic. Got some really nice paint on the cannon there. Which I can say, like, all the tank stuff is kind of bare. Like there's not even paint on the lights. And this is the only one that I sort of want Toy Hacks labels for, even though I know last experience didn't go very well for Shattered Glass, but like, they're not going to put blood all over this too, right? There's not going to be like a human handprint in this window when they make labels, is there? Please. But like maybe some jet thrusters right there as labels, and just like some stickers in general. Just to pick out a few things. I think it could be cool. But for a quick comparison, here he is with my custom one that is entirely null and void now. Man, you gotta love spending $80, $90 to make a custom, and then Hasbro whip out a $30 toy. Oof. And then, since I have it, here he is with the OG Shatterglass Megatron. Let's zoom this out because he is a big boy. And yeah, the jet modes are in no way, shape, or form similar. It's just, you know, you got the sculpting of the wing, which it's sort of there. Like, you got that piece basically down with just some extra greeblin. Some extra little greeblies going on. It works. It works. I like it. It's good. Come on, people. They literally could not have done better unless they made a new mold. It's fine. It's fine. They did it. It's fine. It worked. But yeah, anyways, let's go ahead and actually get him into the tank mode, because I feel like we can just pop in there right quick and just look at how that looks. So first, you do have to you don't have to parts form the wings. You do and you don't. But I'll get to that a bit more in robot mode with some options for the wings. So you pop them off. This, it's not negotiable. You have to parts form. But yeah, again, like, it's entirely clear plastic, but at least on my copy, it just kind of falls in. Like, it doesn't fall out or anything, but it's very simple to pop it in and out, so I don't really fear that breaking. So you're already almost at the tank mode. You just turn this around. You take the legs and do the Siege Megatron transformation we've seen 27 times. Flip it around, put that piece down, tab it in on both sides, this up, that in, this all the way around, close it, everything all locked up. Then you bring in the sword, which I kind of have some issues with this sword. Like, the only real reason the sword is still here is so you can make the tank mode. Because this doesn't gel well in the jet or robot mode at all anymore. It's also the stiffest sword of all the ones I've owned. But of course, you just take this, flip it around. There's also nice paint on it, by the way. Like, I love all the nice blue, how it like fades in the back of it. Put that through, like so. And here is the tank mode. And it's a little weird. In some areas, like the legs, there's a lot of really nice paint going on, but then up in front, there's nothing happening. And this looks a bit weird from this perspective. It's just blue, black, blue, black. It's a little odd. And I guess if you really want to stick these somewhere, you can like pop them in to the back of the tank. I don't know why you'd want to, but you can do it. And then the cockpit doesn't really have anywhere to go. You're just sort of out of luck, unless you can just, nope, okay, you're out of luck. Sorry, guys. Oh, wait, hold on, one more try. No, okay. Worth a shot. And then let's bring in my tank one for a comparison. So I feel like this is a lot more fair. And you can see that they are fairly similar. You'll see a lot more in the robot mode, but like the upper body to me is like almost the same, and then the lower body is almost polar opposites. But yeah, most of the paint apps that they apply in the Hasbro one, I applied in about the same places. Some areas I detailed a bit more, like I added a bit to the shoulders. But then again, they added to the cannon. I didn't do anything. So it is what it is. Yeah, that's it for tank mode. So let's go ahead and get him into his robot mode. So first, take off the sword and just retransform the thing that I'm going to put in a plastic bag after this video. Take these treads and just untab them from the sides. Flip this piece up, like so, and pull it out. Just leave it like that for now. Take the legs, pop them from the sides, and then just do the reverse of what we just did. So you take it, you extend the leg out, then bring it around, rotate it up, fold up the foot, and then fold down the heel. If it will let me, thank you. Same thing over here, pull that out. You want to open that up, take the leg on this joint and rotate it around, fold that up, close, rotates, bring up the foot, then down the heel, and then rotate the waist, and we have the legs done. So let's actually bring the camera a bit for these arms. You want to split this. Just kind of, these should sort of lock in right there. You want to take this whole backpack piece and you fold the treads in, and they should have tabs there they go into for the back. And then you rotate it. It should all like collapse and fold in on his back, like so. Make sure these, put those down, flip out his hands, which usually on mine, not every version of this, they just kind of fall out, but these ones have a nice little click. It's really nice. Flip up the head a little bit, and rotate around the cannon. Here is the base row mode, so let's get the camera back down. Then we take the wings, and you take these little pegs and put them in the holes back here, and plug it in. Plug it in. And then take this and use the middle peg to plug into this arm. And here is Shatterglass Megatron in his robot mode. And this guy looks absolutely fantastic in this mode. Let's get this, sorry camera. Let's get this up a little bit. And take a look at the head, which I can say one issue I have with this is the fact that the head and like the fronts of the shoulders are painted black. They're not molded black. And I just worry with like how Hasbro flat black is that it just might chip over time. But you can see the head is entirely painted. I'm assuming it's molded in this white. But it does look quite nice. Some nice blue back there too. But you get a lot of really nice paints. Get some black and red to kind of emulate the legs of the Bakon toy. The nice blue on the cannon here is really, really neat. Get a lot of yellow highlights going down. And then this, which I kind of wish they picked out one or two of the buttons, but toy hacks. Come on, don't cover it in blood. Make it legit. But yeah, I do really like all the paint apps on this thing. They're very, very lovely. Which this actually is a fairly convincing like sword shield combo, because like it's actually molded to where it has a bit of a divot from this end. But like I totally believe it's both. Like I could believe this guy'd be blasting away and this is a shield. But yeah, the wings are just back here. Which yeah, again, they are parts forming. However, you can technically get around it. There's a the second peg on here is for the jet mode, which if I remember correctly, they're angled like that. Which what you can do is you can take it on the transformation joint and like flip it out to have this display option of just bigger wings, which you can like angle them back a little bit too, if you so desire. Which like I'm personally fine with the parts forming, but if you're not, this is definitely an option. But yeah, this is definitely an option. Like if you're like really against parts forming that isn't a weapon, then this might help you out a little bit. But again, I prefer it the other way. I do like that there's probably an unintentional option though. What is kind of neat is even pegged in. So I get him standing straight back right quick. Even pegged in, the wings can sort of pose. Since they're on like a 5mm peg, they can actually pose up that far. So you can get a bit of an angled look, or they can pose down. Which in the comic book art, I'm not spoiling the comic, I'm just kind of an observation. I noticed that the wings were like always a little down. So I don't know if that's just because like the image they had to reference him was like that whenever they were illustrating it or what, but like the wings were always slightly down. At first I thought it was just in one or two moments, but they were just always angled down. So I don't fully understand, but that's how it be. But then of course he does have his big old Siege Megatron sword that it just doesn't gel here. Like he already has the arm sword and he has the arm cannon. It's just weird if he's holding a giant sword with a sword mounted on his arm. And like I guess you could like split the sword and then use this as like one of his shoulder cannons, but then he only has one. It's weird. It's just this doesn't integrate well in jet or robot mode. Like it's solely here for the tank mode, and even then you only kind of need it. Like you can like flip the cannon around and have this point out a little bit. It isn't as good looking, but it's an option. And like this can't even store on his back anymore because the wings don't have any like ports, so you can't plug it in. So just yeah, it's just really weird that this is still here. But yeah, articulation on this guy is same as regular Siege Megatron. The head looks side to side. You can go up a little bit, down a little bit. Arms go out that far. A full 360, but now the wings will get in the way. That's been unfortunate. Elbow bend, swivel, waist swivel. Legs go up that far, back that far, all the way out. Swivel at the thigh, 90-degree knee, and then the ankle tilts, which there's actually a nice click here, and it isn't super difficult to do anymore. Like it properly holds and it clicks. Yeah, I think QC-wise, this is probably my best Megatron. It's going from the guy that bought nearly every version of this mold and now is trying to get rid of all of them except for this and the G2. But yeah, this is definitely my favorite in the subline so far. Now, since we have Goldbug and Blur, which I'll do all those comparisons whenever we get to the end. But speaking of comparisons, let's put him to the side. Well, firstly, a quick look with him with my custom one, which I still remember the day this was revealed. I kept on getting comments on that video like, man, they made one. They're like, dude, they made one. And I'm just over here like, I know, guys. I was just as hyped. But yeah, I think it's really funny how the upper body, the color placement's almost the exact same. Except I just added more detail to like the chest, the shoulders, and like the buttons here, because like I actually painted them a little bit. But then the like from the waist down is completely different. Like this is white on the official, these are black, these are white. Like almost everything is just a mirror different. But I do still like how my custom looks. It's kind of like it's kind of just like a more like stealthy or just darker colored Shattered Glass Megatron. Which, since I know someone's gonna ask, let's do it. Let's pop these off. I'm not gonna transform my custom to jet mode, but I will at least show off how it looks with the bits. Let's get them on. So there you go. So I know someone in the comments would be like, man, how's it look with all the parts on? There you go. Which this won't even stand. Which I guess this also shows like how different the color is. Here, like instead of it being like this more very light gray, it's a bit more of like a creamy white, which doesn't actually look too bad of a look. I'm kind of fine either way. So let's get these back off. Yeah, man, this custom's redundant now. But even just the standard Megatron look, like I'm glad they added the extra parts. What's really weird is that they weren't actually in the insert. They were just in a bag in the box. So it's kind of funny. But like even just this standard Megatron looks pretty good. But again, I'm very glad they added these parts, because these parts absolutely like make this. They make it work, and I love it. Then, of course, for the other comparison, let's bring in the OG Shattered Glass Megatron. And you can see where a lot of the color choices came from. The yellow highlights on the chest and waist, the black, just all the colors going on. Which I think, in terms of translating this into a completely different body, they did pretty well. Except one issue that a lot of people have had is with the head. So let me zoom up. Because as everyone knows, Shattered Glass Megatron's head is based on early concept art for G1 Megatron, so it has a lot more rounded, heroic appearance. Whereas this one, they just gave it straight up Siege Megatron's head. However, what I did is I did what a lot of other people have done and bought Combat Hero Megatron for its head sculpt. Which is not that one, but it is a lot more heroic looking, like it's different from just G1 Megatron. Which I don't think I actually got the paints out for this. Which I like for the face, I had to actually mix white and gray, so I don't even think like it would be something I could show off anyways. Like I mixed white and I think light gray, like Tamiya, and the eyes are Tamiya sky blue, and then the head I spray painted with matte black, and of course primed it and everything. But yeah, this isn't perfect, but I do like how it turned out. So let me just show you how it looks. Which this head does just pop off, like the mushroom peg, and not mushroom peg, the ball joint. Luckily it's one where it isn't a closed ball joint. It's open, so you can just pop it right off. I can pop this right on. And ba-bam. Which this is actually how I display my Megatron with this head. I just think it works a lot better. That's just me personally. I don't know. Like, I recommend doing it. Like, I found Combat Megatron for about $25. Like, he isn't overly expensive. He's still about a Voyager price. If you can find him for less, totally do it. But, one more comparison. Just so people can kind of see, I guess. Here he is with Kingdom Galvatron. And again, I don't think they could have done Shattered Glass Megatron with the Kingdom Galvatron mold. There's no way I believe that they could even make it into a jet. Especially since, like, he wouldn't be able to have the arm cannon anymore because the wings, they could only plug in there. And the arm cannon doesn't have the space to clear all of that. So you're just kind of... So for one thing, you'd have to get rid of that. For two, there was, like, nowhere for a cockpit, really. Like, I know they just kind of made a part for one, but this is a lot more simple of a figure to, like, create a mode for. Whereas this is very stock, like, this is Galvatron. This is a very specific transformation, very specific alt mode. And don't get me wrong, I love this toy. I really like this figure. Never reviewed it because, you know, I don't like typically review things that come out, but I love it. It's pretty great. Recommend if you can find one. But I don't think they could have done Shatterglass Megatron all the way like they did with the Siege one. Which, granted, even Siege isn't all the way, but it's all the way as we could have gotten. I think it's the best we could have done. And I'm totally fine with it. And one more thing before we head off. I do want to show off the comic book cover arts. Again, I just due to the fact that the review order got messed up through the Hasbro just dropping Goldbug on us one day. I am just going to have another dedicated video to talk about each comic individually, but I do still love this art. I actually have the, I actually got a print of like this cover art that like the actual artist did, and he signed it. It was at TFCon. It's really great. I haven't hung it up or anything yet. It's like sitting in a box from one of the things I got, but I do really like it. Maybe when I do the end of the year collection video, I might show it off on the wall or something. But yeah, no spoilers. I love this comic. I do love this issue though. It's so much better than issue 1. Like, issue 1 was like building up the world, whereas this issue feels like it really focuses on the character of Megatron in this continuity, and I really like that. Definitely give it a read if you can. It's totally worth it. I can't wait to go into more detail whenever these finish. whenever Jetfire comes out and the last one's here, and then I can have a whole sit-down video about it. But yeah, overall, again, I really like this toy. I still think this is the best they could have done. I'm very happy with it. It's my favorite one of the subline now. It's just kind of amazing that I could get a Shatterglass Megatron for $38.99. Which actually, I got mine for even cheaper because if anyone remembers, for the first like hour or so that this was up on Pulse, the price was $29.99 instead of $38.99, and I scooped it up and it was $29.99. So I got it for even less. It's just amazing. I'm just like, I literally for this big thing, I paid $260 years ago. So it's just kind of tripping me out that I could get like a normal like chug scaled Shatterglass Megatron for $30. But unfortunately, this is sold out on Pulse right now as of this recording. I don't know when it's going to go back up or if it's going to go back up, but if it does, totally get it. Do not pay those scalper prices on eBay. That are like $100. I love this toy. It is not worth that much. I'd say at max, if you get this in the comic, $60. At max. Very, very, very top price. It's the highest you should go. But I do recommend this period. It's really great. Totally get one if you're a Shatterglass fan. Or if you just want to pair with the Shatterglass Prime if you got that for whatever reason. Which I didn't even grab for the comparison in this video. Oops, oh well. Guess we're not doing that today. But yeah. Anyways, that's pretty much all I have to say. So, be sure to check out my channel for more video and custom reviews, and please don't forget to subscribe. You can also come check out my Facebook and Tumblr pages, links in the description below. And you can also come join the Infinison Discord server, also linked in the description below. And this is the 14th Prime, signing out.